Hey everyone, Two Angry Frogs here, and today we're looking at everything you need to know about warbands, coming with the War Within pre-patch. We've had a chance to look at some of the warband related systems, and this new functionality is a big win for players. From having a guild-type bank to transferring currency across characters and sharing reputation gains, this is all goodness. So let's cover each of the areas impacted by warbands and take a deep dive into how the warband systems work. But before we begin, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you always know what we're up to next. Now, let's get into it. So the first thing you'll notice with warbands is the change to the character select screen. All of your characters across all realms and factions are treated as a single group, with the only exception being they must be in the same region and on the same Battle.net account. All of your warband characters are listed on the right side of the character screen, and the top 4 on the list, which you choose, are the characters shown on the warband screen. You can also move the order around of the top 4, which changes the order they are displayed. You also have the option of collapsing and expanding the character list window. One nice addition to the warband screen is being able to see what realm a character is from, the character spec, where they currently are in the world, their professions, and current gold total when you hover over them. There is some animation of characters when you select one. For example, when deselected, a character may sit or kneel. Outside of that, the other parts of the character screen are moved around a bit, but remain largely unchanged. However, I do think this opens up the opportunity for a lot of customization options in the future, such as changing the background, adding character animations, interactive objects, and so on. And Blizzard has already hinted at more login screen backgrounds for the future. For as long as World of Warcraft has been around, players have been creating bank alts to share items across their characters. That has now been addressed with warbands. The warband provides an additional bank that is basically a guild bank for your warband, since it functions much the same way a guild bank does. When any of your characters opens the bank, you'll see a new tab for the warband. Your warband bank allows you to share reagents, materials, warband bound gear, and other non-bind on pickup items across any of your characters. And with reagents in particular, the warband bank will behave like your character's reagent bank, allowing you to craft using reagents from the warband bank without having to withdraw them. For players with multiple characters spanning multiple professions, this is fantastic. You can also deposit and withdraw gold to more easily move gold across your characters. No more of the days of having to jump through hoops to get gold from your alliance to horde characters and vice versa. I do wonder if they will make gold a transferable currency in the future, as that would make a lot of sense, to be honest. You can purchase space for your warband bank, but at a pretty hefty cost as it stands right now. You can buy up to 5 tabs, each granting 98 inventory slots. Your first warband bank tab costs 1,000 gold, the second 25,000, the third 100,000, fourth 500,000 gold, and finally the fifth for 2.5 million. When you right-click on a tab, you're given a number of ways to customize it. Each tab can be given a custom name and icon, and can be assigned to specific categories, such as to hold only reagents, equipment, and so on. One interesting customization option here is that you can assign a tab specifically for current or legacy expansions only. I would like to see them break this down by expansion, since I currently use separate bags in my bank to hold items from specific expansions. But this is a very welcome change. I can't count the number of times I have hit the deposit all reagents button and had all of the materials from old expansions shoved into my reagent bank. The next really nice addition with warbands is the ability to transfer currency between your characters. So for the most part, we can dispense with needing to mail currencies between our characters or buying some special box of stuff to mail to a character. In your character currency tab, you can see which currencies can be transferred or not, and this includes not only current Dragonflight currencies, but a lot of the legacy currencies as well. Currencies that can be transferred have a campfire icon next to the currency name, and text in the description states that the currency is warband transferable. To transfer currencies across your characters, you can specify the amount to transfer and which character to transfer from through the drop-down in the transfer window. One thing to note is that the transfer is always to the character that you are currently logged into, as opposed to the transfer button initiating a transfer from that character. So if you do not have that currency on any other characters or do not have enough of it, the transfer button will be grayed out. Note that there will be currencies that will remain non-transferable, such as crests and flight stones, as these types are tied out to specific character progression. In some cases, there will be a loss of currency when the transfer occurs. For example, Cosmic Flux from Shadowlands required us to buy an item containing the currency, and when our alt character opened the item, it was a reduced amount of that currency. As you can see in the description of the currency, we lose 17% in the transfer process for Cosmic Flux. Those currencies will continue to have that same behavior, just without needing to purchase an item to transfer between characters. The final thing you will see in the Currency tab is a button to view your transfer log, which shows a transaction history, including the transfer and when the transfer was made. As with currencies, reputations are also shared across your characters in most instances. You can see which reputations are shared in the Character Window Reputation tab. Reputations that are shared have a campfire icon, much like currencies, and also text in the reputation description to indicate they are part of the warband. You can filter reputations by warband or your current character only. You can also choose to show only current reputations and hide all of the legacy ones, which helps clean up the list a bit. For warband reputations, any progress made on one character is shared by all of your other characters. The reputation progress that is shown is the farthest any character has achieved. For example, my Hunter has Renown 5 with Hallowfall Arathi, so that same renown is the same level for every character in the warband, including my Warlock. This also opens rewards tied to reputation, so the Warlock can buy items that require Renown level 5, even though he has not yet achieved that level himself. Additionally, in the War Within, there are some quests that award reputation as a one-time completion bonus. This can be earned by any character in your warband, so you can complete these with any character you like without impacting your reputation progress. In addition to the currency and reputations, warbands also bring a new gear type, Warbound until equipped. This gear can be picked up and only becomes soulbound once a character in your warband has equipped the gear. So for example, if a leather piece drops while playing my Hunter, I can put that gear in the Warband Bank. I can then have my Druid grab it from the bank, so no more needing to vendor all of the gear that drops that your main character can't use. As long as you have an alt that can use it, gear drops become much more useful. Warband until equipped gear will drop in raid, dungeons, and delves as well. When you earn loot in these areas, you have a small chance of getting an additional piece of Warband until equipped gear as personal loot. The Warband until equipped gear is one tier lower, so for example, if I loot a hero piece of gear, there is a small chance to also receive a champion piece of Warband until equipped gear. Along with gear, most Transmogs will now also be Warbound. This is fantastic for collectors, as now, no matter what Transmog gear type drops, you'll be able to unlock it for your other characters. So like the gear example above, if my Hunter loots a piece of leather Transmog, my Hunter can learn that Transmog so it is then usable by all of my leather armor wearing alts. The only exception to this will be the class and race specific Transmogs such as Heritage Armor, which will continue to only be learned and usable by that specific class or race. In addition, now in the Appearances tab of your collection's user interface, you can view appearances and transmog sets on any character, regardless of the class or race. Warbands open all characters to completed quests and achievements as well. For any quest that is not required to be completed by individual characters, you see a note at the bottom of the quest that it has been completed by your warband. In the War Within, for example, this will allow you to skip all introductory quests and go straight to the first War Within zone once one of your characters has completed that. For achievements, there are a few things that have changed. First, any achievement that is a Warband achievement only has to be earned by a single character, and this is the case for most achievements in the game now. Any rewards associated with a Warband achievement will automatically be accessible by all of your other characters, including rewards like titles and teleports you gain from Mythic Plus. Achievement scores are changed to reflect the Warband score along with any individual character scores, as opposed to each character having their own achievement score. So any older achievements that do require each character to complete the achievement is not reflected in the displayed achievement score. The last thing to mention here is that depending on the achievement, it can also be earned across multiple characters. For example, you do not have to complete Delve Deep on a single character, but rather you can do this across multiple characters, and it will complete once you hit the 10 of 10 mark. The last thing to call out is maps and exploration. A new Warband toy is being added, the Warband map to everywhere all at once. This will reveal all maps and regions that have been fully explored by any character in your Warband. The toy will be earned as soon as you have 2 max level characters in the War Within. In addition to exploration, flight points will be account-wide and earned as a Warband as well. So we will only have to collect these once now, and I am all for that. There is a short quest line, Warbanding Together, that takes place in Teneris and is definitely worth completing. You'll receive a letter from Blue to come to Gadget Zan and learn about her Warband. After talking to Blue, you'll get a couple of quests to complete tasks and defeat enemies in the area. Eventually, you'll receive a quest to place a decombobulation matrix at the Gadget Zan Bank. After wrapping up the short quest line, we talk to Blue and get the Warband Bank Distance Inhibitor spell, which is added to all of our character spell books. And we can use this to access our Warband Bank from anywhere for 10 minutes. I would definitely like to see the 4-hour cooldown on this reduced, but having remote access to your Warband Bank will definitely come in handy. Warbands are bringing a lot of what players have been asking for a long time. As opposed to thinking of our characters as a single thing, the Warband brings it all together so the focus is on our play as opposed to the character. We do expect some hiccups along the way given all of the data that has to be brought together across our accounts, but once that is ironed out, I think Warbands will be a very welcome change to how we look at the game and our characters. As always, let us know what you think down below in the comments, and everyone, have a great day.